Alright, so I found a couple of things that I did wrong. So you're going to notice this looks different completely. So we have flipped it right side out this time. The bottom here, I didn't realize the bottom goes literally just straight down. There is no half circle there. So it does like this. So I changed it. I lowered here for the arms, and then I made this a little more flat on top. So that's what I've done. It doesn't look too much different when it's on the dress form, so we're not going to bother worrying about that. So we're going to get new foam, and we're going to make the bottom, the part that goes under that, so that I know how big I need to make for the rest of it, because I can't finish without the bottom piece on there. So we're going to kind of just eyeball this, I think, because this is a straight edge on the end of this one that I cut out previously for something else. So I'm pretty sure anyway. You know what, I should probably use a ruler just in case. So I'm gonna grab one of those. So this is my best straight edge. Hopefully this works out. Anyway, we need to figure out exactly how much of this we need from the bottom to go up under the rest of it. So, and I'm gonna make it so that both pieces are not attached to each other, so that it's easier movement. If I want to sit down, they can slide up and down easier, so that you can sit and have more movement. It's maximum amount of movement. So I need to figure out how tall I need it. Alright, so it needs to be about 6 to 7 inches, and the good thing is this goes to 8 inches. So on the side here, this, where I would use for the edge, goes up that far, so that's good. So I can set this down. Oh, I can't set it down like that. That's not good. Let's do it on this side because it'll be easier. So I'm gonna go up about 7 inches. Then I can do like this and make a straight line going across. So now I have that, so I can match that line up when I match up everything over here, and it should be a straight line going across. Why am I using a pen? I mean, this gives me a better like indentation, but it sucks. Like, I can't see it. See, I can see the marker, but I can't see the pen. It's like it's dying or something. This can be the top. This rugged edge here can be the top. I know it's a little bit harder for you guys to see now. I have to figure out what the heck I'm doing with my camera. It's really difficult to place where the camera's gonna be, where you guys can actually see everything. So yeah, this bottom edge here is going to be what sits on top, so that I can just cut these off. It doesn't have to be nice looking, and then it can just sit on me. I might actually put straps on this too, so that it fits kind of like what would that be, like a harness belt, kind of like what Cloud wears, where it has the belt going around him and then 2 straps holding the belt up in place. So I might do that with black straps, because I'm going to be strapping a lot of stuff together to make this stay. So, and actually that's what I meant to do. This is going to be a side piece, like it's going to go from the side to the front. So this needs to go, actually let me do some measuring first to make sure everything's correct. So I will need to make this in 4 pieces, so I'm gonna measure out, this would be measured in fourths. So let me do the math again. Alright, so I need 12 inches of this, or about 12 and a half, just to be on the safe side. Oh wait, actually, alright, so I'm gonna make this 13 inches. So this would be a 1/4 of the piece that goes around. It's actually more right here. That wasn't exactly 13. I kind of screwed that up. So right here, mark that down that way. So this will be the size that we use. So we need to find the halfway mark of that, which would be 7.5. No, 6.5, sorry. Right there. And now this will go up about 1 inch. We'll just do 1 inch. So right there. cut that out in a minute. And then we'll go from here, we'll go like that. That can't be too bad. We'll go from more inside and come down. Yeah, there we go. I like that curve better. So we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna cut everything out and yeah. All right, so this is as close as that's going to get. I will need to probably curve it a little bit, like in the middle. We'll figure something out, or I mean well, this would be the middle, but I figured that out when I get to it. I gotta cut out 4 more of these, but I don't know if the back, it doesn't look like the back has a curved, nope it doesn't. All right, so I do have to make 4 of these, but I think I have to make it actually go back up a little bit more instead of having it just be flat on the back side there, or well, it'd be this side. Make it come up like this. So let's see what happens. So you guys might be wondering why I cut this with a straight edge over the knife like this. That is because I want the straightest cut possible, and it's going to give me the smoothest cut so that things look their absolute best, so that when I go to glue everything together, it sticks. If it's rough, it's not gonna stick. So I need it to be really nice looking. The top and bottom don't matter because they're not getting glued to anything. Those can just be dremelled out to be, you know, just nicer looking than they already are. It's not a big deal, but these are. So it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but let's see if I can do this. There we go. Like here I have front and center written on here. Well, an F and a C to go with front and center. And then here I have center and back. So what's going to happen is these 2 fronts are going to go together. The 2 centers are going to go together. The 2 backs are going to go, or this is the other center. And then when the 2 backs go together, it'll be folded over and they'll go together like so. So I made sure to make everything right side up so that you can see exactly where it goes. And actually I'm going to change this up a little. I'm going to go C1 and C1. And then over here, C2 and C2. So that way I know that even more so which C goes to which C, just in case. So now we're going to glue this all together. I'm using the same glue as I did last time. I'm just going to glue everything together like I did before. We're just going to do the edges of each one and put it all together. I am also going to show you something else to do. We might want to do this first actually. I have to get it, and that is my heat gun. So I don't have that great of a heat gun. It's not the most powerful. Could be better, but it's not. So I don't like how thick this cord is. It makes it really, really difficult to really do anything with. It's really hard to maneuver everything around and knock things over. So, all right, what we're gonna do first. This is gonna be kind of loud, so I'll probably turn the volume down, and then there we go. So I had to get the stuff off of there. I don't really like this, but I might have to get a new piece here because where the pen indented, that might show. That's gonna annoy me. I might be able to cover that up though, so we're gonna see first. If it doesn't, then whatever. But it's not that big of a deal. I might be able to put another one in here and make like a design of it or something, and like make it kind of my own thing. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so we're gonna blast this thing with heat on both sides and then roll it up so that it's rounded, basically. So one thing you want to do is, be careful without burning yourself, that is. But one thing you're going to want to make sure of is that the foam doesn't get burned. You don't want to hold in one spot for too long with the heat gun because it will burn your foam and melt it. So see how I'm just kind of rolling it and holding it together? I'm doing this until it cools down. So we also want to make sure that these are as straight as possible. So you can do that by actually doing this, putting those sides straight down, and that'll keep those a lot more straight. So here we go. It's all nice and curved. So we're going to do that for the rest of them and then use the glue and put them all together. So you saw that in the last one, how to use the glue, so whatever. Okay, so for right now, this is what it looks like. This is the best I can do as far as an angle goes. But it doesn't look that great, but it looks good enough. So we'll call that good. We're going to move on to the next part, which is this, the arm thing, whatever you want to call that. So I have a way to do it, but I can't show you guys how I did it because I had to do it in the kitchen. And that is, I got this saran wrap and wrapped it around my arm. So move that up a little bit. There we go. So you can see I got all this saran wrap around me, and now we got to duct tape it down so that I can make a pattern out of it. This is how you make basically any bracer pattern or leg armor pattern. You wrap this around it and then you duct tape it up, and then you can draw on the duct tape to make your pattern. So we're gonna do that. Alright, so with it all taped up like this, it's not the greatest tape job I've ever done, but it'll work. So we only really need to draw one side of it. So we'll go from here to this side, and then we can work it out from there. So it does look like it angles down. So from this type of view, it would angle down this way. So I do want to make what would be the halfway mark going up, and then I will straighten this out later. And now that I think about it, I might be able to just do this in quarters. I'll just do it like that first off, and then from here I can make it go up this way, because I can just add to that, to like add paper to it or something, or even add some more tape and just draw that on. So I might even, well, let me figure out what the exact 1/4 mark is. So let me get a measuring tape wherever that went. Alright, so I did measure it out and I did do it wrong. So it's really hard to see actually. Wow, even with the light on it's near impossible to see. But I did it down here and it needs to be up here. So there we go. So what we're gonna do now is very, very carefully cut it off. So, that got sweaty. Alright, so now we're gonna cut along the lines that we just made, and we're probably actually going to make this a little bit bigger, just in case, because it does need to slide onto our hand, so, or onto my arm. So there's that, and this is about as straight as this thing's gonna get. So then this is going to be the bottom half, and then if we flatten this out, and then we can put some tape on top. Alright, so I've added some tape to it to make it taller. I don't know how easy it is. It's probably near impossible to see that. But so what I did was I took this one, traced it, except for the top, matched it back up to the bottom, matched it back up to the bottom here, and then from where the top is where it's cut, I just added the line going up even further. So that way this is one full half piece. And I might even be able to put these two together and just make one single piece that I can do two of, rather than making 4 pieces. So this is good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna cut all these out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and transfer them to foam and then cut them out of the foam. Alright, so you may have noticed I did 2 that are the same thing. I didn't reverse it. That was kind of an accident, but these are my test pieces. This is on a scrap piece of foam because it was just easier to test out on a piece that was already not going to be used for anything. So again, on these ends here, you're gonna the 2 sides you're gonna want to do with a straight edge so that they're at least straight, because you want them to still connect. So you're gonna want them to be as straight as possible. And with this one, it does flare out a little bit at the top, so I am going to make this flare just a little bit. And then I'm gonna do this cut on here when I'm gonna redo this, I guess, on the other one. You know what? I can actually do my mock-up here because this is also scrap foam, and I can turn it and do it the right way. That way I know exactly what it'll be like. So let's just redo this, and since I made the cut a little bit wider on the back side, or this longer side, I'm just gonna trace it out. And the cool thing is I don't have to heat this one up as much. It's already curved a little bit. And of course it wouldn't cut it correctly, so I will have to fix that with the Dremel. This will be fun. Alright, there we go. Alright, so that works. Now we can put them together and see how they fit. So I'm gonna heat form them first and then glue them together. I might just tape them together actually, since these are just templates. And then if they're big enough, then I can just put them together. But we'll see what happens. Alright, now that these are heat formed to the best of my ability, it's not going to get too much better than that. I'm going to glue them together. So this is going to be kind of a pain in the butt, but let's see. Alright, so a bunch of foam later, I did make a whole bunch of different ones of these, and this was my final design. It's a little difficult to see, but this is my final design. Let's do the one that doesn't have the black mark on it. So I did notice it does have this arch here, whereas my old design did not have that arch there, and I didn't notice it until I looked again on the paper, and I was like, oh, I need to redo that. So it has this weird thing like that, so I had to redesign the entire thing basically. But this is about dry to where I can put it together and we can finally see what one of these is going to look like. So I'm just very carefully lining these up as I go. And I did do these, it's again going to be next to impossible to see, but I cut everything at angles so that, yeah, you're not going to be able to see pretty much any of that. But they're cut at slight angles, and that is so that they can fit better together like this. But it also makes them a little bit harder to put together, but they do fit better once they're together. The back side is much easier. Once you have the front side put together, the back side you just have to kind of run your finger across and it'll put itself together, which is really awesome. So boom, put it together. Now I could have made this so that it like velcros shut or something, but I figured this way it would have the least amount of like possibilities to come off. So that's the reason that I chose to go with the glue method rather than, you know, with it, or where I can just slip it on rather than doing if you guys have seen Kamui Cosplay, she's an amazing cosplayer. I don't remember exactly where she's from, but she's from Europe somewhere over in the European countries. And I followed a bunch of her tutorials for how to get the best shapes and everything, and how to make, you know, foam armor and stuff. So I followed a lot of her videos to see how things are done. And she uses the Velcro on the back where there's like a slip inside here. There's another sheet that goes across this entire thing, but one side has Velcro on both sides so that you can put it together. That's her main way to do that. I decided not to. So looks like I'm gonna have to super glue some parts shut. I don't have any super glue. I didn't anticipate that being a problem, but you can sort of see, yeah, right there, there's like an opening. I really wish this light was easier to use, but you can sort of see this opening right here. Oh, I got a better idea. Boom, there we go. Yeah, this right here, that opening, there's a couple of them. Those have to be super glued shut because they didn't get enough glue apparently to close. So this side got pretty fine. This works for me. It will need to be dremelled over a little bit so that the seam goes away, but that's really good. So we're gonna actually put it on this arm. So this slips on. I made it so that it's loose. I'm going to put something in there like soft foam, the like bed foam, you know. I don't know what it's called. It's the really soft, the ones you would normally see inside of a helmet. If you've ever worn a helmet of any kind or a hard hat of any kind, they usually have those softer pieces of foam in there so that it's cushioning on your head. I'm gonna put those behind here and behind here so that when I put them on, it can sit on my arm without, you know, moving around, because it moves around pretty easily. So I'm gonna do that to stop it, but it needs to be big like this because the ones on the character are pretty big. So that's why I did that. I might be able to get away with putting like a strip of this inside it. I'm not 100%. I'll see what happens. So it looks like this might be the end of this video. I just need to make these two, and I'm just gonna do them the exact same way. You just heat them up and then fold them over while they're heated up and they'll stay formed. And that's pretty much it, and then just glue them together like I did everything else.